Richard didn't end up going to Saskatchewan. And I remember, I didn't really find out till after he had passed, and we had that day that no one will ever forget in this organization, in this building. But I remember Joe Mack pulled me aside after that. I'd always thought he hadn't gone to Saskatchewan. I thought I had something to do with that, and Joe really pulled me to his office after this tragedy had happened, and he really reinforced that, that was a big reason. I was part of the big reason. His ties to the community, how he was embraced by the football fans and the people in this province and this community were obviously reasons too, but I knew I was a big part of why he didn't go to Saskatchewan, because we had made that deal a long time ago, and he intended to stand by it. So being up here today, and retiring, I want to say that's a big part, just out of respect for him, and I just want to honor him and make sure that my tenure, my legacy in Winnipeg is tied to his and what he did for this football club, and I think it's fitting and appropriate that 2011 was both of our best seasons.
Some very emotional, some very beautiful words about Coach Richard Harris from Doug Brown on the day of your retirement. I know this is all very emotional, and I think that's the first time I've ever heard a story like that about you and Richard and your connection. I mean, everyone knows how strong your connection has been, but that story in particular has something to do with your retirement today. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's just, you get up to the point I'm in my career, and when you have someone, a coach that you've spent the majority of your career with, which was Richard, and we had that pact and we had that bond, and it was evident by the decision he made to stay in Winnipeg in 2011, which was a reflection not only of the bond and the connection him and I had, but how we felt about this community and this area. And there's no greater man I've met in my time here that I want to have my tenure associated with. We both came into the CFL in 2001, and we both ended our time here in 2011, though obviously it wasn't the way anyone would have imagined, but it was just the last tribute, the only fitting thing I could do to just show my appreciation for what I learned from him.
Now, obviously, this is a sad day. Retirement is a sad day for many players, and I know that you are among the players like Milt Stegall that fans never wanted to retire. We wanted to see you in Blue Bomber colors for a very long time. You've had all winter to think about this. I think people were aware after the Grey Cup you weren't coming back. You've been open about your plans. Has that made it easier thinking about this all winter long, or was this day difficult no matter what?
I didn't think it would be as hard as it was for so long. I forgot to apologize actually to everybody up there for why it took so long. I wanted to wait till Brent Johnson retired first, because when it comes to Grey Cups and major CFL player awards, I always defer to Brent Johnson, so I figured I might as well wait till he retired first anyways. But it certainly wasn't. I thought, just with my experiences being in front of a podium or a microphone, and how many interviews I've done with you guys over the years, but there's when you see a video clip, I didn't need to see that video before, and I just saw all the different eras we went through as a football team, all the different coaches, seeing Coach Ritchie at the start and everything. That's what makes it hard to go up there, is when you're able to see your career encapsulated to such a degree, and just all the successes and failures, that really make up a career. That's what makes it hard to express, and you hope that people understand just how much it meant to you to represent them, and I hope that was conveyed.
Well, you did say, on a lighter note, that you won't miss all of the flesh in the locker room and the bad smell of the locker room. I'm going to guess that you also won't miss what we can see behind us here is a perpetually cut nose. The bridge of your nose always cut, because helmets have never really properly fit your head. What else won't you miss, Doug Brown?
That's, other than training camp, I think that's the full gamut. You've got we spend enough time together, Kim, where you've got a good handle on you know, all the things, all my likes and dislikes in football. So there's not much to you know, not be thankful or appreciative as a member, a long-standing member of the Winnipeg Football Club. You know, it's such a privilege to be able to don the uniform and represent our fan base here, a fan base that's so passionate and so supportive that, you know, it's hard not to like almost everything you do.
Well, I know that you did say as well that it's been tough because you don't have a place to put your competitive fire now. You don't have anywhere to channel that. You've been channeling it in iPhone Scrabble, and he's beat me in iPhone Scrabble, and I don't hear the end of it from my boyfriend. Doug Brown beat you in Scrabble. So we're going to have some rematches because I need to make some ground back up. But I know that people are wondering, what else are you going to be doing with your time? Will we see you on TV, on TSN? Everybody expects that's probably an obvious move for you. What will you be doing?
Well, I have been told I will be making a number of guest appearances on the panel on TSN this season. That's a great opportunity to have to really get your foot in the door with that organization. And, you know, I've been fortunate enough too that I'm still on good footing and I have good relationships with some of the stuff I've done on the side here, and as well to just be able to have a discussion with the football club too, is in terms of potential ties in going forward. So
does that mean coaching?
Not necessarily, not this year, but you know, it's just it's humbling to still have opportunities to not only contribute to this football team, but to take advantage of all the opportunities that have been given to me in my time here, from, you know, from the Winnipeg Free Press to CJOB and a number of other industry leaders that I've had opportunities to sit down and discuss with. It's hard right now. Joe Ploplasky told me once, you know, the hardest thing you'll ever do, no matter how prepared you are, is to walk away from the football game, and he's right about that. But, you know, I'm fortunate to be positioned in the light that I am right now.
Well, Doug, on behalf of everyone at Shaw TV, you've been a great friend of our channel, a great friend of the Fabulous Blue Bomber Show, and a great friend of the community here in Winnipeg. So we want to thank you for everything you've done for your fantastic football career, and we look forward to just seeing you around in the near future.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.